Donna and the other sponsors, but particularly Sean, because I've been in politics now 33 years. I've gone to a lot of events. Guaranteed this event, you'll have the best food of any event that I've ever gone to. I know that because I was here last year, and I stick around and actually eat the food. Sean, thank you for doing everything perfectly. So I have made thousands of visits to small businesses around the state. My famous predecessor, Louis Goldstein, told me a good comptroller never sits behind his or her desk in Annapolis, but get out, Peter, from the bubble and go talk to people. So it's probably getting close to 8,000 or 9,000 small businesses and not-for-profits that I have personally visited over the last now 13 years. And the amount of information that I have learned, particularly from the small business people, has just been unbelievably helpful. It's made me a better comptroller. They have told me over and over again, we love Maryland, but in order to have the resources to do what you need to do in Maryland, you need to have good fiscal management. And I listened to that. And they said, secondly, what you need is a little more trust, because a lot of us don't trust the government. So would you please fix the potholes, pick up the trash, put air conditioning in the kids' classrooms, answer the goddamn phone. No, excuse me. I was just quoting some of my supporters. So they said you need the resources. You need the trust of the people, but most of all, they said you need to have the political will. And I know there are elected officials here today. I served 20 years in Annapolis, but it was pretty much unanimous around the state. We're never going to make any fundamental reforms in the state of Maryland as long as the Annapolis political machine, as I call it, makes all the decisions. They're just not set up to do it. So, that's what I've learned over 13 years. Most of all, number one, show up. People love that. Why? Because they get to tell you something good, something bad, something about the weather, but they get a small connection. Obviously, I've done my job, thanks to my staff. We send out 2.5 million tax refunds totaling $2.5 billion in about 6 weeks. Time. It averages 2.1 business days. There may be another comptroller's office in the country that does it faster. I doubt it. And it's all accurate. And it's your money back in your bank account. And people appreciate that. They also appreciate the fact that we answer 700,000 phone calls on average, some certain days of the year, which are big tax dates. With those few exceptions, we answer phone calls with a live, professional employee of the agency within 40 seconds. Test it, 800 MD. And then the third part that I learned from small business is be a fiscal moderate. It doesn't mean that we can't do big, bold things. We can. We just have to be able to pay for them. We have to stop, most of all, defining our success by how much money we spend on something that sounds good. And we have to start defining ourselves by what kind of results the taxpayer's investment gets in the programs that we care so much about. And then finally, I've laid down the partisan sword. I happen to think that our country and our state is much more important even than my beloved Democratic Party. That frustrates the Annapolis establishment because, as you know, everybody these days is polarized and heavily partisan in their approach to public policy. I'm not, and I think the public basically supports and appreciates the independent Democrat that I am. Thank you all very much for being here.